I was in the hot tub the other day with two guys. That sounds crazy, but they were on about steroids, and there was two women in there as well. There was two women, and they were on about steroids. And one of them said they used to take Anavar, and they took a cycle of tests and all this stuff. And you wouldn't have thought he took steroids. You would not have thought he would. He was a bit older, he was bald, he was quite out of shape, and you would have never thought he took steroids. You would never thought. And another guy we were with, who's an amazing guy, was saying about how he used to take SARMs as well. And the crazy thing is, one of them was in better shape than me, I'll give him that, but the other guy wasn't. And a lot of people I see in the gym aren't in that incredible shape, which is all right, you know, which is all right, like you're improving yourself. But I'm in better shape than a lot of people in there. And I've heard from people in the gym, the amount of people who are blasting trend, blasting steroids, blasting these things. But obviously I don't assume it. I wouldn't assume it with just random people I see in the steam room or sauna, especially when they don't particularly look like it. And it's crazy, man. And I just want you lot to understand on a real level that you should never compare yourself to other people, and just be aware that there could be people on stuff. I can tell a lot of time if someone's on stuff in how they act, but on a real level you just don't want to compare yourself to these people, because it's not fair. It's not a fair comparison, and it's a never-ending cycle. Let's say you took a cycle of steroids. Let's say you took test or something like that, and you put on an amazing amount of muscle. All right, now what's the repercussions? You got to have a post-steroid cycle therapy. Like, you got to have something that almost gets rid of the other things that is going wrong in your body. For example, like estrogen tablets or stuff like that, that people have to take. They were literally on about like what you have to do after. You've got to live with never being able to truly achieve that version that you are now without the steroids. So let's say you come off it. Let's say you're lucky, you come off it clean. You come off it and you feel all right. You don't feel amazing because you're not going to, but you feel all right. Let's say then, a year down the line, you consistently work out, but you don't look as good because your body is getting to its natural range again. Your body is slowly just understanding that it needs to be natural. And you look at yourself at past photos now. You look at yourself at past photos a year ago, and you see yourself massive, jacked, unbelievable muscle, people giving you compliments. But now you don't look anywhere near as good. You may look decent, but you don't look anywhere near as good. What are you going to do then, logically? What do you truly feel like emotionally? And a lot of times we act out of emotion, don't we? We don't act out of logic most times anyway, but you're going to want to get back on cycle. That image of yourself is never going to end. That image of you, jacked, unbelievable shape, is never going to end. And the sad reality of it, and I'm not saying it doesn't take hard work, is it isn't actually attainable. It isn't actually real in a sense. It's real for that period of time, but over time you're not going to be able to keep that up, and therefore you're going to have unrealistic and terrible view of yourself, because it's not right, man. It's not right. Your body don't need it. And even me, recently I went on bulk and cut down, and people are giving me compliments. I've even been asked if I'm on steroids. I'm like, nah, man, of course not. Like, I've never even smoked, which is crazy. And it's just crazy to assume that there's people out there who abuse their body with steroids, and then they don't even look like they've done it. Like, this is not to be a dick to the people who do that. Like, honestly, like, genuinely, this is not to be a dick. It's just crazy for, say, you're growing up, let's say you're a bit younger, and you see these people in incredible shape, and you also see people in not the greatest shape, and you can't believe that some of them who are not in good shape have took steroids in the past, and the other ones who are in amazing shape may have took steroids in the past, and some of them have good genetics and they're natural. It's like, it's crazy, you know, it's crazy. And I just want to give you lot this belief that over time you can build amazing physique. Over time I've built amazing natural physique that I'm grateful and happy for, that I get compliments on all the time, naturally. No steroids, no steroids. I take some supplements in regards to creatine, ashwagandha, a bit of tonga ali, all that stuff. I do take stuff like that. I'm really considerate on the vitamins I take. I take multivitamin, vitamin E, vitamin D, high strength vitamin D, vitamin C, I take them all. But cod liver oil as well, and garlic as well. And the reality is, you can build a good physique naturally. You don't have to achieve this level that a lot of people are on, because they're never going to be on that level consistently. You see it online all the time. You see unrealistic bodies, and it's crazy. And it's like, now I'm at a point where I'm not ridiculously far away from these people who got insane physique. Of course, let's say like a Mr. Olympia, like I'm nowhere near them. But let's say, for example, the fitness influencers. I'm not insanely far off them, and I don't weigh a ridiculously insane amount of them. Let's say, for example, like people been on Love Island or whatever. They're obviously in better shape, but a lot of them have taken steroids in the past and on the show or whatever, and they literally they're not much better than me, which is crazy, isn't it? Because you would think they abuse their body and they're never going to be at that level again unless they take them steroids again, or unless they take more steroids again. And it's just a never-ending cycle. Just don't touch it, man. Don't touch it. People say touch it at this stage, but if you're a bit older, TRT, of course, that's all right. That's all right. Like, come on, like that's different. That's a different scenario. If your testosterone's lower than it should be and you're not feeling good, of course that's different. But if you're a young guy, if you're even in your mid-20s or whatever, and you haven't even trained for long, or you're just getting into the gym, don't take no fucking drugs. Don't take no steroids. You don't hear people being firm with this now. You hear people saying, oh yeah, take them, oh because this guy takes them, oh, ain't that bad. You're taking off time of your life. Your heart is going to be fucked, your body's going to be fucked. You're never going to achieve that version again unless you take more steroids that you've achieved from taking the steroids, which is going to be a never-ending cycle of you never feeling good enough, which is crazy. But if you do it naturally, if you take your time and naturally build a good physique, which is going to take time, you will be more confident and happy in yourself, and you've actually built something that you can actually build. You've built something that you can consistently keep up, instead of something that's just out of this world, that isn't normal, that isn't right for your body, that has health repercussions. I just don't want you lot in this position. Please stay away from drugs, steroids, all this stuff, because people will say, oh, you can get on it, you can get on it. Of course, in extreme circumstances, it's different. Let's say, for example, you've got ridiculously low testosterone for some reason and you're young, and you're like in your 20s. Like, come on, that's a different case scenario. But on the whole, everyone watching this who haven't got in the shape they wanted, or they've started out in the gym, or they're just going for it now, over time you can build amazing physique naturally. You don't need steroids. These guys online, a lot of them are on steroids, and they don't tell you, and it's sad, man, it's sad. But you can build amazing physique naturally. It just takes longer, and it's actually easier to keep. Whereas if you took steroids, you will be at a higher level that you've ever been, that you could probably get to naturally, that you probably can't get to naturally, but you will never truly achieve that physique again. And you've got to watch yourself get off it, unless you take more shit, unless you take more steroids, unless you inject more shit, leading to you feeling terrible and your body image being fucking crushed. I don't want you lot in that position. I don't want you lot in that position. I hope you lot got a lot of value. Like, comment and subscribe. Thanks for all love recently. Turn notifications on, please, as well. Thank you.